you can complete it, and then you can refuse to go to NeoCap, and then we'll come back. Or you can get your shit together.
Now, I know this judge always divides the room. Some people love him, some people hate him. That's fine by me. For me personally, I kind of like his no bullshit approach. Now, a lot of people don't like the fact that he swears. I get it, but I don't know, kind of brings a bit of realism to him. But maybe that's not what we need either. Maybe it's the neutral kind of aspect of it that we need. That's a really great question, actually, and I'd love to get your take on that. Should judges be a bit more personable and real, or should they do, as their robes intended, keep them neutral and almost robotic in a sense, I guess, or just part of the machine? I don't know. Interesting one. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it either. But anyway, we got this guy here, and he gives this big, long sob story. Woe is me, I'll do better, yada, yada, yada. Judge is like, the hell you will. Have a look at this. Let me know what you think. And we'll catch you in the next one. I'm working on a really interesting one right now as well. So stay tuned for that one. Sláinte.
Rhoda?
Thank you, Judge. Before you this morning is case number 24-CR1415, captioned State of Ohio versus Jeremy Thomas. Case was last before the court, Judge, on February 12th of 2025. At that time, the defendant pled guilty to 3 counts. Count 1 was a charge of operating a vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs or a combination, a felony of the 4th degree, violation of ORC 4511-19A1A. Count 2 was a charge of unauthorized use of a vehicle, a felony of the 5th degree, violation of ORC 2913-02. It's a felony of the 5th degree because the victim was an elderly person. Count 3 was a charge of failure to stop after an accident, a misdemeanor of the 1st degree in violation of ORC 4549-02A. The defendant is present today in court with counsel. Mr. Watson, we are here for purposes of sentence.
Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Mr. Thomas is a troubled man who's got an issue with drugs and alcohol, specifically alcohol with this particular case. My client admits it. In the pre-sentence report, I think he was pretty open and honest. He has a severe drinking problem, and unfortunately, he compounds that issue by continuing to choose to get behind the wheel of a car and operate it. Your Honor, my client, early on, when I met him, wanted to take responsibility for this. I believe he pled by way of information. He wanted to address this matter. The issue, the reason that this took as long as it did from the plea to today for sentencing is my client this entire time just felt that it wasn't even worth jumping through any more hoops, that because of his record, it was just automatic prison for him. Quite frankly, Your Honor, and I have not heard this from him, this is my own personal viewpoint assessment, but I think Mr. Thomas, quite frankly, has given up on life. And I think it's sad. I know while he was in our jail, he's made various threats for suicide. I know he's been put on suicide watch. I know initially we had a sentencing date about a month ago. He refused to cooperate with probation totally. He did reverse course on that, and at the very least cooperated with the probation department and Lake Geauga with their drug and alcohol assessment. Granted, yesterday NeoCap tried to interview him. He did refuse that. But Your Honor, my client, again, is a troubled man, and I know that there's mandatory time here with the OVI. I know that there's mandatory, that the court has the discretion between local time or prison time. With respect to the prosecutor, because I know we've had discussions on this, early on, we have a joint recommendation for 9 months on this case. However, yesterday afternoon, Mr. Thomas called me. I guess there was a glimmer of hope put under him that he might be eligible for treatment. And I think, Your Honor, I think that's what he needed to hear in life was that there might be something. And he called me at the end of the day. I had to leave a little early yesterday to take care of my kid. Explaining this, So I want the court to hear it directly from Mr. Thomas, because I know he hasn't been very cooperative. I know his record is horrible. And I know under most circumstances, this court probably wouldn't even consider this request. But I think Mr. Thomas is sincere when he called me yesterday. I briefly spoke to him before Your Honor came out. He told me he's prepared to speak. So at this point, Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to either consider what Mr. Thomas would like or the joint recommendation. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Thomas, what do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, I just wanted to address the court and let it be known that I wasn't trying to not comply with my pre-sentence report. I just didn't have any hope that I would possibly get treatment or probation. And I spoke with the forensic psychologist, and she, after we had spoke, she told me that she was going to recommend 90 days in Lake Concord Pines or a treatment facility. And I asked her if possibly after that if I could go to a sober house, because I would like to get a home group and a sponsor so that I can stay sober, because I'm just worried about other people's well-being, and me behind the wheel of a vehicle is dangerous not only to myself but to everybody else around me that could possibly either get seriously injured or die. And I just don't want that to happen. So I'm willing to try to get some sobriety and change for other people's well-being as well as my own.
Didn't you just do the jail treatment program last fall?
That was a year ago in March, yeah.
Well, I think it was in the fall, but whatever. Okay, it was recent. So what did you do with the jail treatment program?
I successfully completed it.
What does that mean? What does that mean, successfully completed it?
Well, I successfully completed it as far as when I got out, I was seeing Signature Health for my psych evaluations, and I saw a psychologist and she prescribed me medication, but it wasn't a full assessment, so I never got diagnosed with anything for the Abilify that they gave me. But they also gave me a booze bar for anxiety, which I do have social anxiety, and I think that's one of the reasons that I drink, is because it makes it easier for me to communicate with people.
And it keeps landing you. I assume all these theft convictions over the years, the drugs and alcohol are tied in, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the disorderly conducts.
Right.
It's all alcohol. Yeah.
Okay, so why would this stop now, as opposed to the last 25 years?
I really haven't tried to get treatment any other time, Your Honor.
Well, you went to treatment. You went to the jail treatment. And now, I don't know how hard that is to complete successfully in their terms. I imagine you could do the minimal amount and then successfully complete it, right? So it really isn't successful. Okay?
No.
It checks a box for statistics for them, is all it does.
Yeah, it's only a 30-day program. It's not really helpful.
Why did you refuse to see NeoCap yesterday?
I don't believe they ever came to see me, because they did.
They tried to see you and you refused to see them.
I don't remember. CO's never told me that anybody was.
When was that, Kim? Okay.
I don't. They never came and got me. The COs never came and got me to see NeoCamp.
So, well, I don't think Jan's making that shit up. Okay, she sees people all the time, and if there's I don't think there's a conspiracy with the guards against you.
No, but I would.
So you can't. What you've done the last 25 years hasn't worked, right? Because you keep going to prison.
Yes, sir, yeah.
So why is it magically going to work now if I go along with you?
Because I'm serious, and the other times I wasn't mature and an adult. I'm 41 years old, and I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I mean, the hit skip that scratched somebody's paint, someone could have got seriously injured, and it's just something that I don't want on my conscience. I lost my daughter in 2017. She got hit by a car and killed. And that really took me downhill with drinking. And I've been thinking about it, and I don't want that to happen to somebody else. As hard as it is for me to not drink, I think it's more important that I mean, I have other children too that need me, and I'm living my life in a bottle instead of being a father. So,
Well, you understand, I really can't help you. You understand that, right?
yes, sir.
I mean, whether I go along with what you want or not, I can't help you.
I know that, Your Honor.
So up until 4:10 yesterday, you just wanted to do the 9 months and get on with it, right?
No, I've been thinking about it since I originally was going to not do the pre-sentence report because I thought it was hopeless and I was just going to go to prison anyway. I've been thinking about it since then. I left a message while my attorney was on vacation for a week for him to come and see me, and I guess he was been too busy to be able to do that, or I would have discussed it with him way before now. I finally got through to him on the phone yesterday, and I seriously did not have anybody come to see me from NeoCamp. There's another Jeremy Thomas in the jail, and I don't know if they went and got the wrong Jeremy Thomas to go see them, because they came and got me to see an attorney that wasn't mine, and it was for the other Jeremy Thomas. So I'm being honest with you when I say no one came and got me to see NeoCamp, or I would have went and at least seen them.
If I may, Your Honor, there is actually 2 Jeremy Thomases currently incarcerated, and there has been a mix-up when I've tried to meet with my client here.
All right, anything else you want to say?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rhoda?
We would just need to adopt the recommendation, Judge, of 9 months in prison.
Okay. All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation and the victim impact statement. I've listened to Mr. Thomas, Mr. Watson, Ms. Naroda. Considered all the factors in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. So like I said, Mr. Thomas, there's nothing I can do that's going to help you. Nothing I can do. I mean, you've been around the block many times. We're in the jail treatment program and successfully completed that, whatever that means. But you didn't implement whatever it is you may or may not have learned while you were there. When did you have your mental health evaluation?
I met with a psychologist that prescribed me medication, and they were scheduling a full assessment, but that I never got a chance to go to.
When were you evaluated? How long ago was that? While you were in jail this time right now?
No, I got evaluated when I did the jail treatment program, and then I followed up with Signature Health when I got out.
And what was that follow-up like? What'd you do?
I went and saw the psychologist that prescribed me Booze Bar and Abilify, and they scheduled.
Do you remember the psychologist's name?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, go ahead.
And they scheduled a full assessment that I never got a chance to make it to
Why didn't you make it?
because of ending up in jail for the third OVI charge.
For this one?
The one before this one, Your Honor.
The one in Painesville Municipal?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So when's the last time you took any medication?
Probably like 2022 or 3.
So what exactly, you can't stop drinking. What other problems do you have besides that?
Cocaine, that's not really a drug that I abuse a lot. That's when I drink, sometimes I use it.
What about the mental health? How long have you had problems with that?
The anxiety I've had pretty much my whole life. But since I've turned 40, I hear voices, and that's why they gave me the Abilify, but they never diagnosed anything, and that's what the full assessment was supposed to do, is they were going to diagnose what exactly was causing it.
Where do you live?
With my mother and my stepfather here in Painesville.
All right, I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 90 days in jail with credit for 17. The last 30 days, you're going to be in the jail treatment program, complete it and follow the recommendations. And I guess completing it's the easy part. Paying attention and getting something out of it's the hard part. You figure out how you want to play it. Then you're going to go to NeoCap, you're going to get into that program, complete that program, and follow those recommendations. After that, you're going to go to either Concord Pines or Lake House, complete that program and follow recommendations. After you complete that, you're going to reside in a sober living facility for a minimum of 6 months. No drugs or alcohol with screens. You get a mental health evaluation and follow those recommendations, which means following up as they recommend. You're going to go to at least 4 AA meetings a week and obtain a sponsor. You see only 1 doctor and 1 dentist and 1 pharmacist for medication. Take your medication as prescribed, sign releases for probation. And complete the Decision Points program and follow those recommendations and pay the cost and supervision fees associated with this case. Ms. Randallson, as to terms, anything else?
Your Honor, if he does the decision point in the jail, then it's going to kind of be like double dipping because it's going to give the both times.
He needs a double dip.
You want the double dip.
Twice as good.
Okay.
Okay. Do you understand the terms?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Any question about the terms?
No, sir.
Okay. I can't help you. I can make stuff available to help you if you want to be helped. If you violate, then state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, you face 30 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And then if that happens, when you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate their conditions, they could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If that violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which is the greater of 12 months of the time left under post-release control. There's a mandatory fine in the amount of $1,350. And I'm going to suspend your driver's license for a period of 4 years. And one further term that I neglected, additional term, is that at the appropriate time, you're going to get a valid driver's license. Anything else, Ms. Naroda?
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Yep.
When I spoke with the probation department, I specified that not going to Neo Camp to them, and I don't know if they didn't mention that or not, or
No, they mentioned it. They mentioned it. You know why you don't think you need that?
I just.
Oh, go ahead and say what you want. I mean, I'm not going to change my mind. Go ahead and say what you want. Now, if you want to, you can just go over there, refuse to get into the jail treatment program, and then we'll come back. Or you can complete it, and then you can refuse to go to NeoCap, and then we'll come back. Or you can get your shit together and do what we're suggesting you do, so you don't keep ending up back here. But I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. It ain't my life. It's your life. Do whatever you want. Like I said, I can't help you. So you don't want to go to NeoCap. Then if you don't want to go to NeoCap, then when you're done over there, just refuse to go to NeoCap, and we'll meet again. Or maybe you can try something different. that will result in a different course for the next 25 years. But that's completely up to you. Ms. Naroda?
Was there a restitution, Mr. Hitchens?
Oh, yeah, $6,819.58. Anything else, Mr. Watson?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned. You see, now wait a minute, wait. Now, you understand something, Mr. Thomas, okay? They came in here working out a joint recommendation of 9 months in prison, okay? You didn't want that, you want a treatment, okay? Now, you can talk to Mr. Watson, and he'll readily tell you that I really don't give a shit about joint recommendations, okay? I do what I think needs to be done under the circumstances, whether it's above the recommendation or below the recommendation, or if I think it's appropriate, the recommendation, okay? So I certainly don't care what you want, that you want to dictate to me the terms of what your probation is going to be, okay? Because I'll tell you as I sit here now, I think you blowing off NeoCap, okay, is going to land you right back here at the next available opportunity, which ain't going to be too long after you're free, okay? So I don't care what your recommendation is or what you want, okay? I'm doing what I think needs to be done, so you stop coming back here. But once again, do with it what you want.